Calificas para ser legal, quieres saber, solo llama al abogado Andrés Mejer.
So here we are about 15 minutes in. My name is Andrés Mejer. I'm an immigration attorney, published author, and I'm here on our radio show, Para Ser Legal, To Be Legal. We're talking about the 9 changes that this administration has made to immigration in 2019. Number 6, expand verification and the investigation process. The longer the process takes, the hope is fewer apply. Fewer new citizens might mean fewer votes against him. That's the mentality here. Almost every petition now requires an interview. This is called slow walking the process. Yeah, I'll get that. I'll get right on it. I'll put it on the bottom of the pile. Yes, you're very important. Let me put you in the pile. The pile just gets bigger and bigger. Oh, well, I do the best that I can. So listen, if you're going to require an interview for every single petition, even though I just had a trial last year and I won my asylum case, and now you want me to interview for my green card, what's the point? There isn't none, just delaying the process. And you're not hiring new officers. What does that mean? That means every case is now going to take longer because there's a limited number of cases officers can review. If you don't hire more officers or you don't open up access and all else being equal, it takes longer. But it's not all else being equal. You have more people applying because they're afraid. You have less officers to do it, and you require them to do more. You're slowing down the process. Slow walking the process, and it's purposeful. Don't think twice about that. That's pretty darn clear. Now, number 7. In 2017, Trump administration increased the costs for fees across the board. Something like almost close to 25%. Some fees more than others. Now, it hadn't been done in 13 years, so there was a legitimate argument of why it needed it. Inflation had gone up, the expenses had gone up. Okay, I get it. Now, in 2019, 2 years later, wants to do it again? He announced an immigration services surcharge, an average of 21% fee increase. But some applications see fees double. And they want to take $200 million from USCIS, paid for by fees, because USCIS is 100% self-funded, and move that over to ICE to improve enforcement and deportation proceedings. That's ridiculous. I don't think it's appropriate. So we'll see what happens with that fee increase. I'm sure it'll be challenged by the courts, but let me give you some examples. Citizenship, $725 today will be $1,170. Green card, family-based, today $1,760 will be $2,750. DACA renewal, today $495 will go up to $765. Again, these are just some examples. Number 8, creating obstacles for workers and their families. Trump administration is increasingly denying and delaying foreign skilled worker requests. RFEs, requests for information, has more than doubled, causing increased costs and delays for months. Look, if I'm an employer and I need somebody with specialized experience, so let's say I do a lot of divorces, but not just any divorce. I do divorces where one spouse is here and the other spouse is in Mexico. And I see that as huge business. So I want to hire a Mexican attorney to come and work for me in the United States to help me with that process. Now, that's a business model I want to create in a year or two. Well, how much am I going to, I need to find the candidate, apply for the candidate, wait till he or she gets approved to come into the United States, then get the business up and going. Well, nowadays that could take 2 years, $20,000, $30,000, $40,000, and increasingly the immigration is asking for more and more information. They're slow walking the process. They're not denying it outright. They're just making up obstacles along the path. So if I'm an employer and I think, well, listen, this guy's fantastic, but that's going to take me 2 years, or I can find someone with not as good credentials, not as good experience, but they can start in 3 months. Well, it's not ideal, but you know what? 3 months versus 2 years, ready to work versus having to spend tens of thousands of dollars in wait. Maybe I'll just go and hire someone closer. And that's the goal. And businesses suffer because of it. Number 9, expanded use of the expedited removal process. So this is a situation where you're deported fast. You don't see a judge. You don't go to court. You don't have a right to an appeal. You don't even get to see an attorney. You're gone. expedited removal. Historically, if you're caught within 100 miles of a U.S. border, north or south, and within 14 days of entry, you could be deported without seeing a judge. Well, Trump administration wants to increase that 2 weeks to 2 years. At least he got to 2. This is somewhat consistent. Well, maybe not so funny. 100 miles, forget that. Anywhere in the United States. If you're found anywhere in the U.S., and you can't prove you've been here more than 2 years, the government can now deport you without seeing a judge. Because that's what they're trying to do. The courts have stopped it. So those are the 9 major things that Trump administration has done to change immigration in 2019 and to make it harder. So I'm Andres Mejer. Thank you for joining us on Para Ser Legal to Be Legal, the English version. If you have any questions, you have any comments, please post it below. Subscribe to our channel, and I look forward to talking to you next week.